I'm very grateful for you guys.
Oh, well, we're grateful
And I'm
for
not
you.
going to get emotional.
I never took leadership positions at jobs and stuff like that. It's something that I avoided.
You learn a hell of a lot more from tuition in business than you do from tuition at college.
I kept my nose down. I sold insurance in my dually truck. I sold more insurance on that tailgate than, hundreds of thousands of dollars every year sold on that tailgate.
Being a business owner and then a leader of a team refined you as a person.
God put me here at the end of the road. He put me here to be a better person. The wildest thing that has ever happened in my agency happened a few years ago when my bread and butter is farm and ranch. So I go to a ranch to bind a new policy and had to sell myself to this gentleman to do insurance with me. And he had a cow in labor and he was having a hard time. So I literally rolled up my sleeves, jumped in and helped pull a calf because I've pulled many calves in my life. And we got the calf out, got the calf resuscitated, got him going, and I got the policy. He bound that day. So it was an amazing, send the sales manager my, picture of myself all covered in placenta and, calf poop. And, it was a wonderful, wonderful day. I love selling insurance. You never know what you're going to see or do. My name is Jackie Crane. I am in Homer, Alaska now, and I'm an insurance dudette.
Woo! Boom! Boom! Love it. That is so amazing. So we talked a little bit before we just started this, and you kind of went through a lot of your past. So would love to talk about how you became an insurance agent. But man, you've had an insurance journey, and then also some other businesses that was kind of
So 20 years ago, I started out as a registered representative for Prudential. And so I got my Series 7, my 66, did it on my own. I don't have a college degree. I just decided this is something I wanted to do, and I went and did it. And my kids were young. And I was traveling to Scottsdale. We were living in Aztec, New Mexico. And, traveling to Scottsdale and Albuquerque was way too much for my family. And I'm a wife, a mother first, and an insurance agent third. And so I postponed it. I put it on the back burner. And then I decided to come back. My kids got a little grown. We started Crane Cattle in Aztec. And this picture back here, we raised show cattle. And that was an amazing opportunity to meet people and get submerged in a whole new world. And my husband is oil and gas, been there for 44 years. So he had a good income. So, my little side gigs usually just drain the money. But, and I wanted to get back into insurance, something that was mine. And so I went to Aflac. I thought, if I can learn how to sell a supplemental policy that nobody wants to buy and learn some traits, and they have really good training, that I could sell insurance. So I did that for a few years. And then I jumped into Farm Bureau because the two worlds, Farm Bureau and cattle and everybody I knew in the farm and ranch world, ever cohesive. So it was a natural transition to go Farm Bureau. We're still in Aztec, New Mexico. I lived there 32 years. And
wow, it's tiny, huh? Aztec's small.
Yes,
is it near? It's like between Holbrook and Farmington, right?
Durango. We are 30 miles south of Durango, Colorado.
Okay, so it's it's after Farmington. Okay.
Yep. You go Farmington to Aztec to Durango.
So did you go skiing at Purgatory?
No, I never did. I know.
It's a great hill.
I drank a few up there, but never skied.
Yeah. Awesome.
And, I loved Farm Bureau, but I just saw the indie side being something that I wanted to get into because my husband having the oil and gas connections, I had a feeling that's where the money was at to insure. So the independent route, I did that, did farm and ranch with, all those got appointed with many companies. I started from scratch. I didn't go off of a brokerage. I did it from scratch.
Wow.
Literally. Went and got all my appointments with the companies. And then I grinded it out for a few years, just me. I was out selling and I had a great service team because we're back in accords. You had to fill out accords for your applications. Everything had to be done by an accord. I sold, my team serviced. And then in October of 2020, my daughter decided her and her husband moved from Maine to Homer, Alaska. My husband and I flew out, drove them all the way across the country, got them to Homer, and we fell in love with Homer. So we went home thinking, all right, he's 62, I'm 52. If we're not going to do this, we'll never do it. Let's just jump off and try. So I sold my agency to a major. We liquidated the cattle company. We had 100 head of cows.
Wow.
And we liquidated everything, had a few auctions. We decided Matt would stay in Aztec and keep working for the oil company. I flew up here in August of 2021 with a suitcase, landed in Anchorage, Ubered, got a car, drove down to Homer, and started my agency.
Wow.
Scratch agency.
Wow.
With a captive. So you went independent to captive.
Yep. And that was, I kind of researched Homer. You just don't do this without researching it. And they had 2 independent companies already that were old family-owned companies in Homer. Homer's 6,000 people. I had a feeling that, they kind of had that sector figured out. And what they're writing is the commercial crab boats, the commercial fishing boats. And I didn't know anything about those. So I didn't want to jump in that water, not knowing how to write it and be the great insurance agent that I could be. So I went captive. There was one captive agency in this whole area servicing Kodiak Island and Homer. And I thought, let's try it. So I went
Super cool.
Captive.
So what kind of boats are we talking around there?
So the Deadliest Catch is filmed from here. So we have all the crab boats. We have the Time Bandit, the Saga, the Wizard. They're all here.
Wow.
Summer
So awesome.
all last winter after it rolled almost in that show. It got restructured here. And you'll see them pull them out of the water and work on them and put them back.
Isn't it ironic how hard it is to get people to come to work, yet people will sit at home and watch other people work?
Yes.
I mean,
you're not joking. Yes.
What is the deal with that? What's the deal?
I think we're couch potatoes. Yeah. And, we have The Last Frontier is filmed here.
My wife loves that show.
They're right down the road from me here. And
Wow.
Bering Sea Gold and the Alaskan Bush People. And there's
Have you met the Kilchers?
Yes.
Which ones?
They're vibrant in this community.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Did you meet Jewel?
Here, Zach Brown lives here, and there's a place called Alice's Champagne House, and it's about 2 blocks north of me here, and he plays there.
Oh, really?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Is it a small place?
Yeah, it's a small little place.
Dude, he's playing stadiums out here.
Yeah. Oh no. They wind her down. Jewel is a Kilcher, and she lives here also. And
Jewel?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
She lives there?
Yeah.
I guess if you're big time, it's nice to live in a small place because then,
Yeah.
Have
Right
you ever
next
seen
to
that
Zach's
show?
house is Darius Rucker's house.
What show is that?
Hootie.
Yeah. Huh?
Hootie.
Yes. I didn't.
Is that Hootie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Or
What
that
about the
song,
Blowfish?
What Rock Me Mama, like, that song. I know that one, but that's a good one.
Yep. Yeah, and that was his solo album, right?
Yeah.
What an interesting transition from him. He went from 90s alternative to cowboy.
Yeah. You can be anything you want to be.
You can. Wow, that is so cool. I love that. So have you met Jewel?
No, I have not. But people say I've only been here a year and a half, and everybody's like, "You'll meet her. They're around."
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So the Alaskan Frontier, Craig, it has the Kilchers, and she's a Kilcher. So it has her dad, right? Her dad and her uncle are on it a lot.
Yeah. Otto. Yes.
Yeah.
Huh.
Super cool.
Yeah. And it's a neat little town. It had to be a really cool town for me to sell what I loved, and that was my cats.
And then on top of it, you showed some pictures, and you have some in the background there.
Yeah.
But the Northern Lights.
Yep, that was from my house over here.
From your house, from your phone.
Yeah, these are all cell phone pictures. Yeah,
Gorgeous.
Yeah, it is gorgeous here. You need to Google Homer, Alaska, and check it out.
Nice.
I have to check it out.
Of the road, you cannot go farther than us. The road goes out to Homer Spit, where all the boats are, and it's a 4-mile projectile of dirt land, 4 miles out in the water, and it ends there.
Wow.
What is the warmest it gets there?
In the summer, we're probably in the 70s.
Oh,
Yeah, high 60s, low 70s. Yeah, it's colder in Durango, Colorado right now than it is here.
oh, wow.
Yeah, it is
Is
definitely.
it snowing there?
It
I need some
snowed over
snow
a
out here.
foot in Anchorage, which is 200 miles north of me, but
Okay.
we
Wow.
just had freezing rain.
Ugh.
I have a couple feet up my house, which is a few miles from town, but yeah.
So when you started the captive there, you went scratch as well. So
Yes.
from scratch.
Didn't know a soul when I got to town. Didn't even have a place. I didn't even know how to rent a place. I mean, I literally had no place. I didn't know anybody. I know my daughter and her husband, and that was it.
So you moved there.
Yeah.
And you went straight into right.
Yeah.
And straight into selling in an area that you don't know anybody, you don't have staff.
No.
You just went for it.
I just went for it. I thought, what's the worst that can happen? I could lose money. I'll just, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to live a dream. I'm going to try it. And, I'm going to give it all I've got. And
did you stay optimistic the whole time, or did the little voice start?
The little voice is still talking to me. I feed him off every morning.
Yeah. I think that's also what separates the ones that, that the cream that rises to the top is being able to suppress the little voice, right?
You're right. And trying to stay optimistic and not get stuck in the trees, because sometimes I get down and I'm like, I never bought a lead. I didn't know what a lead was until a year ago, guys.
Right.
I never bought a lead in my independent or in Farm Bureau. Never did it.
Wow.
So before we go into that, because I know what that's like, what did you do to get new business prior?
It was literally referrals, word of mouth, networking, being good at what you did, and you did it really well for someone, and they would tell somebody, "Hey, you got to call her." And my average premium for a farm is $10,000 to $15,000. My average gas premium was $80,000 to $300,000 for a policy.
Yeah.
So now I'm writing $500 auto policies.
Right. It's a big shift, right? When you have a smaller client base, but big payoffs versus these little micro transactions.
These little micro ones. And I figured out really quick, I had to have a good sales team, and I need to be a great manager.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I've had to learn this last year to transition, because I want to sell. I love selling.
Right.
And I'm a crappy manager. I mean, I'm not going to lie. That's where I've had to grow.
The crazy thing is you are selling. Now you're one level back. You're selling to the people that are selling the policies, right?
Yep. Yes, exactly. I mean, I'm still there and I'm still doing it, but it's just so hard to give up that control and trust your team to do it as well as you think you would have done it. And you got to let them to make the mistakes. You got to let them trip. You got to let them fall. And you got to help put the Band-Aid on and get them built back up psychologically that they can do this.
Yeah.
We learn, we'll roll forward. I tell
them
so
much patience.
You make a mistake, we'll fix it. We will fix the mistake. Nothing in 10 years, it won't matter, but you got to try and just show up every day and try.
Yeah.
And the other thing I have on the wall is you get out of something what you put into it. That's been what I raised my kids. You're not going to get something if you don't put into it an honest day's work, because nobody's going to hand it to you.
Yeah.
And, and I find that frustrating. And I've kept people on too long.
Yeah.
Because I haven't let them go soon enough. And then I start really looking at numbers, and it's like, I got to let them go. And it hurts because I'm not one I don't let people go. But when you're paying the bills and you're paying for these leads and you're trying to do all this and we're not getting a closer happening, it's just a hard decision. And that's frustrating to me
I think that part is tough. And I think it gets easier over time because you start realizing, as Dr. Spock put it in Star Trek 4, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. And just being a part of a culture with one bad apple ruins so many people's days, because that's where they're spending all their time, right? So it's I know it seems unempathetic to let someone go, but they don't really like their job, or they'd be acting a lot differently, right?
Right.
And then also they're ruining everybody else's time. It's like you need to let them go. Like it's funny because I always wait too long to let someone go. Because I feel for them, but I'm like, my mind is slowly being molded into the direction of just like, you know what? It's if I truly want to be empathetic to them, because let them go, get them into something that they're going to do, that they're going to like doing, and our team's going to like it more. Like letting them go is the best thing for everybody's life. And if I need to be the one to be the bad guy to make good things happen, then that's what I need to do and not worry about it. You know,
dude, letting go is so hard. And so there's two parts here, right? Like you talked about letting go. Jackie, you talked about letting go of control. And it's interesting because Jason and I were talking about an hour ago about this very thing. Like we were talking about having to control them. And are we worried about the how, or are we worried about the what, right? We care about the outcome. It doesn't really matter if the path to that outcome is A, B, C, or A, F, D, or however they get there, as long as they get there, right? And they may be better at doing it a different way, as long as it follows some sort of framework. Can't be loosey-goosey, but that's really hard. It is hard to give that away, right? And sit back and watch them mess up and you're like, ugh. But at the end of the day, like doing that really unlocks a lot of freedom for us as agency owners.
Well, and in trying to do this remote thing, you both know I've been, flirting with the remote, trying to do that. And that's a whole nother can of worms.
It's a beast.
It's tough. It's tough.
Because you literally only have data. And I have a very archaic phone system up here. I mean, it's just like beat my head against the wall. I can't listen to calls. I have no data. Every time they dial, it's 7 cents. Every time they pick up the phone to dial. I mean, so I'm having to scale that back, add a different service so I can start being a better remote team manager, because I don't have the tools in place to do what I need to do for these people.
And I would like you to unpack that, because I know that like you and I were on the phone for a long time trying to make it work. And there couldn't be a more difficult situation that you worked through. So go into
it.
Talk about friction, right? Like normally friction erupts and then they're like, forget it. Right. And you were like, no.
Yeah.
No, I was like, I'm going to have grit. I'm going to get this done because it can be done. And I just knew we could do it. And I knew in my heart that where I lacked in this captive environment that I'm in, you guys could fill the void to help me grow.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you.
I knew that. And I knew I needed you guys as much as you needed me. And so I was like, well, let's work together. Let's figure this out. How do we make this happen? How do we get this done? And
So at the beginning, from the best of my knowledge, you guys have one phone system, one phone company in Alaska, right? and is it like talk about? I just talk about the prices, because it's mind blowing.
Yeah. So like for my only phone service I could find for the VoIP is one company. So I have 4 or 5 VoIP lines and then some soft lines for my remote. I went in it intentionally wanting to do this, and I pay almost $600 a month just for this service. And now I have no way I can't listen to recorded calls. I cannot even, to find out how much my people are talking on the phone and how many dials, we have to print off Excel worksheets that are like, for 1 week is probably 3 inches thick. And I have a person that's going through it, adding up, so I kind of can watch my people and what they're doing, because I wasn't doing that in the beginning. And that control piece that I needed to know, you guys are talking about it every week, and I didn't have it. I didn't know how much my people were on the phone. I didn't know really how many dials they were making,
right?
Because I had no way of looking. And so then I had to break it down.
Yeah.
So crazy. And then we tried to get you phone numbers, right? And so you reached out to them. How much were the phone numbers for every phone number to buy?
It was like 300 and some a number.
And we're over here paying $3, right? And you're like, what?
It was something crazy. And I'm like, what? I'm going to have like $4,000 in my phone system.
I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it when you told me that stuff.
Well, and nobody did. So I'm forwarding you guys the emails. From the
Is Alaska on a different internet? Like, is it the Alaskan net? Like, I don't understand how you can't
my upload speed
a
is
VoIP.
8. I am rolling. I have an upload speed of 8. That's it. That's all I have in my office.
So is
for my internet.
Starlink out there? I bet Starlink's out there.
They just got here. So
that's your answer.
I have it. I haven't used it.
Doing this as you and I are talking, that is my other alternative that I was telling you about. So now I can do Starlink for my internet. I have to keep the one hard line, so I have a local Homer phone number. I'm gonna throw Starlink for my internet, and then I'm gonna have Lightspeed come through, and I'm gonna have to forward my hard line to Lightspeed because they were able to get me one Anchorage phone number.
Oh wow!
But I got to wait 4 months for it. I'm on a waiting list, and that's how we're going to do this. That's kind of phase number, F?
So to say that there were some obstacles is an understatement.
It's just part of life, though. And one thing I kept telling myself, and I screwed up, when you have cattle and you're learning through the hard issues and learning it by doing it wrong, you usually lost a life. You usually lost a calf. You lost the cow. You had death involved. Here, I kept telling myself, you can figure this out. Nobody's going to die.
Nobody's going to die.
Right.
No one's going to die. You're going to lose some money, but you're going to learn. And that's part of owning a business.
Yeah. And there's no time, I think, that you're really ready to jump in and with leads because there's just so many pieces.
Oh my God.
That, like just so many parts where it's an unknown and it doesn't seem to work. And there's so much time behind, all the different things that you're like, and everything's lagging. Then you don't have analytics. So that makes it even trickier because you have to make the decisions based off data.
Yeah. And I don't know where my gap is.
Right.
Don't know where the gap is. And so you're trying to train and stay ahead of it. Hell, a year ago, I didn't even know what a web lead was.
Right.
I'm like, what? I got to buy what?
Yeah.
I can't go knock on the doors. I mean, that's how I got my business before. But it didn't work here. I had to go switch my brain from quality to quantity.
What was that like?
That was hard. It still is hard. I mean, like you guys keep telling me double down. Double down, buy more, feed the system, feed the funnel, and ride it out. And it's, it's like a 8-second bull ride. You get in the middle of it and you're about to get the horn and you want to jump off, but you can't. Now you got to stay in it.
And then the other things happen, like people call in and you're like, and leads are coming, so there's all that. But it's just, I think it's managing those emotions. And I mean, that's why I love the group is that there's the support of that,
And I was intimidated to say squat for a long time. I just sat and listened to y'all, visit and I got my little notebook and I'm always writing notes down because I was intimidated. I should know this crap. I've been doing this for 20 years. And that was, a little humbling. I ate humble pie for a long time this last year. I didn't know squat and I had to relearn how to do something.
Yeah. I think you came in, when you came into this world, it was much different, right? I mean, you said 30 years in the insurance business. Yeah. I mean, there was no internet, like this didn't exist, right? Like, isn't it wild that this didn't exist 15 years ago?
Everything was paper.
Yeah.
Everything was paper. We had
microfiche.
Paper apps. We had paper everything,
Did you microfiche?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean,
you know what that is, Jason?
No.
it looks like, remember slides that you put up on but it's like a big slide and you put it in this machine that's kind of like an overhead projector, sort of. It's bizarre.
Yeah.
Like all reports would come on those.
Yeah.
Like, it was like I came into the world, it was done, but they had piles of them that I threw away,
Yeah. And then we got really fancy when we got the carbon on the app. So we had a copy for the insured and a copy for us to take home.
So you didn't have to rewrite it or something?
Home office.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, this is definitely, it's been a humble pie year.
It is intimidating at first. And I remember when I came into this agency, this agency didn't even use any of the management systems that the captive that, we do stuff with has, so none of it was on the computer. It was all files here.
I didn't have a CRM until I got here.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Isn't it
serious.
wild? Like, you try to look back to doing it without that. You're like, what?
Yeah.
How's it even possible?
Big old thick folders for each client.
Yeah.
They call, you go get the folder out of the cabinet, you write their note in, what you got to do. And yeah.
Yep. And then you see the big
CRM
numbers coming through that some of these agents are doing. And like, how are they doing it? It's like internet leads. And I'm like, well, I want to figure. So that's what I thought, because we had no walk-ins. And, you could do as many bake sales in Huntington Beach, and that ain't going to work, right? It might work in Alaska because you guys are really nice. But out here.
We're going to have halibut fries. Fish and chips.
But like, I was like, I have to figure this out. And I remember thinking, like, there's no way I'm going to understand all this. And then that was the journey. And it did take a long time. And you spend money, and, it's when you spend
hard part.
and it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
Spending the money
just kind of dwindle off of your screw ups.
Yeah. I remember when Jason and I first met, I remember talking to him. He's like, yeah, I'm going to do internet leads. This is the thing. This is whatever. And I'm like, dude, I have bought internet leads so many different times and they suck. Like, I had, no results. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? You got the magic lead company or something? So it was, this whole thing. And then he went, and then
I flipped the equation, right? Because the equation was most leads suck. So most people try to find the good leads. But I said, what if I could create a system where any lead, it doesn't matter, right? So like, that was the thought process. And that's kind of like my thought process with all of this. If you can create a script that anybody could use and still get results, cool, perfect. And then if you can create, find systems and processes that you could teach anybody to, then I don't need to find a rock star. You know what I mean? Because those are the bottlenecks, the rock stars, the best leads. It's like you're on a wild goose chase.
Right. We're looking for the wrong thing, right? Or the needle in the haystack. I want the Glengarry Glen Ross leads. Oh, well, they don't exist, right? The golden leads. No such thing. Maybe 1 out of 1,000. And then like the rock star, dude, you could hire for 10 years and you don't find the rock star.
No.
Sometimes the rock star is actually the biggest pain in the ass too.
I was just going to say that.
They are psycho.
Usually have an issue.
Right.
Well, and
yeah,
I think I also, my company, I never had this issue because when it was my agency at Independent Land, I never compared myself. I kept my nose down. I sold insurance in my dually truck. I went and I sold more insurance on that tailgate than, hundreds of thousands of dollars every year sold on that tailgate. I didn't hear anything. I didn't see anything. I just, dirt roads and selling insurance and, going out to oil wells and going to farm and ranches. And then I get here, I have to cut off the crap, that I don't need to focus on. I don't need that morning email from my sales leader comparing everybody who's writing more than me, because that's a negative. It's like immediately you're like, I didn't do enough. I'm not doing enough. I'm not succeeding. But you got to compare to where you are and your own personal goals.
Yeah.
Because you're talking about rock stars and I have a small team. There's 30 people in that team. You can't compare them. And that's what this one report, if you don't know, you're comparing yourself to someone who is 5 times larger. You cannot compare.
I don't even look at the emails. You're right. Like you get 100 emails a day to grab your attention. You're exhausted by the end of them. And not to mention, there's changes, right? There's so many agent groups and they're just so focused on all these changes, all these negative things that are happening. It's like, dude, but how's your business? The thing that's in your office right now, the people, like that's your business, right?
That's exactly it. That's what your focus should be, is your people, your team, what's happening in your 4 walls. And you and I, we're always pivoting. I mean, this whole year's been a freaking pivot for me.
Yep.
I have just pivot trying to figure it out. And, I just got to put the blinders on, put my nose down and run my business the way I need. And surround myself with good people and just put out the noise.
Yep.
100%.
And I mean, you guys in California, I mean, I hear it all, what's happening with everybody down there. And man, but you just got to regroup, refocus, and find a way to get out of it.
Right.
And that's, I don't know. Insurance has never stayed the same. I've done it for so doggone long. It's always changing. Companies are always changing. I know independent, some people are like, oh, that's the way to go. Some people say captive's the way to go. It is what you make of it.
Right.
That's it. The cheese just gets moved. And here's the best part. Everybody is regulated to have it. So it's like, yeah, I could complain that, we can't write new business this year or next year, right? But for everybody that's complaining, and it's all the people that when they were given giant bonuses out the last 2 years weren't taking advantage of it, right? I don't want to have to sell. And then now it's like, you don't have to sell. It's like, well, I can't sell. Like, you know what I mean? It's like crazy to me that people are complaining about that. I mean, but I do empathize with like, I understand that some agencies are small enough where they need to sell and stuff like that. But I'm just saying, generally speaking, a lot of people, always want it the other way, but the cheese is always going to move. The point is you got to take advantage of where it's at. And to me, it's like, I was running hard, getting those sales, with the scratch agency, just like you. And this is a season that, there's going to be there's no goals. So that's kind of cool. And like, we can run with a skeleton crew and,
scale back.
Yeah,
scale back.
Profit. Like that's incredible, right?
Yeah. And so like now it's like, okay, so now what's my goal? And my thought process is, okay, I brought in all these people over the last couple of years, but we didn't solidify them. You know what I mean? So like, even though there's no commission not really any commission in new business, but like maybe cross-selling some of them, getting those homeowners policies that we might have missed, you know what I mean? Having those extra conversations that we haven't had time to have in the past and doing all the things to solidify so that when it does open back up, it opens up, we can focus back on outward business, but we have this rock in the background. What did I plan on that? No, but like, I mean, dude, business, you don't plan on anything. Like, it's crazy to me that we're regulated by the states and Google and Amazon can't come in and take over. Like, that's pretty incredible. Like, because Google and Amazon and Facebook and everything, like if they could jump into insurance,
they would.
It's like see a mom and pop store. It's like, you know what I mean?
We wouldn't still be here.
No way. No chance.
Yep. No. Like the Tesla insurance,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just interviewed someone that was Tesla in California and then went in and now is out on the LSP track and all that. But yeah, and she said it is not at all what was sold to begin with.
Yeah.
Well, California is just a beast because the insurance companies have no say in anything. And neither do it's just so run by the state and it's just crazy. I mean, everybody's hands are tied. So it's a negative thing, but then it's also a positive thing because everybody's so similar. It's like, for every negative, there's a positive to it, People have to have insurance.
Positive, Jason. Just pivot towards the positive.
Yeah. You have to. That's it. Either that or you're going to be living in your own hell,
Right. We got to move quick when we have the ability to move quick because that's how we're going to prepare for the potential winter that's around the corner. Right.
That's Alaskan talk, Craig. Look at you.
There we go.
Right. Like this morning with my sales team, we were talking, with my half a sales team because somebody has COVID, which is awesome. But so my sales folks were talking. I'm like, look, you guys are going to have to do a lot of quotes today. You're going to move a little bit quicker than we like, kind of, because I'm not going to cut leads back because that messes the funnel up. Right. I don't want to do that. So I have 3 people that are handling 200 leads today. It is what it is, right? Like they're going to work through them. We'll get to them. It's all going to happen. But I know that by the end of the day, their tonality, their mind, everything's not going to be as sharp as it was first thing in the morning. And I said, before each call, pause, take 5 deep breaths, like reset your physiology and think to yourself, how would I behave if I was going to get paid $1 million if this person bought? Like change the thinking, like change the stakes of that call mentally. Like, what would you do? Like, would you sell it if it was worth $1 million? Hell yeah, right? No matter what.
They would. What if?
Right?
Positive what if. Yep.
And so it's similar it's similar to what we were just talking about is just shifting that. You have to shift it.
Yeah. I got thrown so my business plan, when I did this, I started going this direction. So that would have been spring of 2021, about March. And I wanted to buy an agency in Alaska. That was always my plan. I didn't want to go scratch. I was going to buy an agency, and there just wasn't one for sale, and not where I wanted to live. I didn't want to live in Fairbanks. I wanted to be closer to Homer, and I just couldn't find one. So my business plan was I go scratch, and then year 2, I would start purchasing another agency so I could scale, get some revenue, get that residual coming in, and then I could grow. Well, that got kiboshed with the new 2023 rollout that they just did. So I got kiboshed, and I even had an agency set to buy in January, and I got kiboshed. And so
that's tough.
It's frustrating, but you guys were we were on one of our elite calls, and you guys talked about this I think it's probably September-ish. And you said something about the way the pay scale is and the commission and the way that we're doing this, you're better off to throw it all in your agency and grow it. Just go on the scratch and just grow it, throw your money in and build it. And that stuck to me when I was like, oh man, crying in my beer the other night. I was like, I remembered that. And I thought, you know what? I still have something here. I'm still building something. Yes, I'm not going to get to buy that agency like I wanted and, had it all financed and ready to roll. But I got something here that's valuable. We just regroup. We pivot. I put that money that I was going to put as a down on that other agency, and I put it in this agency, and I grow this one.
Yeah,
and
there you go.
I look at year 3 and 4 now.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy. So how big was that agency?
Almost 5 million or 4.2, I think, million.
So yeah, you can do it. I mean, you can definitely do it. It's, like we were talking about before, because I know you're in year 1, about year 2, right?
I just had my 1-year anniversary.
Yeah. So it's really speed is the name of the game at this point. So like the faster you can do it, the better. And you can, and it might not hit that exact number. You might be able to grow by 3 million or something like that. But the cool thing is at the end of that game is that you have a team and you can max the bonuses and all that other stuff, right? So that you're like an award-winning agency coming out of it, right? Where it's like, if you buy an agency, usually you don't have enough rolling in to be able to grow it so that you can hit those bonuses and stuff like that, or you squeak by. There's a lot of work at that point to be done. Cause I always tell people, like, if you're going to buying is great, but like you still need like you need that sales team in your agency to hit those bonuses, to not ever be on those lists, to worry about those minimum, all the low numbers. Like I've never known mine. Never. Like, it's funny because like, I've talked to other agents and they'll tell me, oh yeah, what's your, I don't know my number because I've never even come close to it because I don't want that game. You know what I mean? I'd rather spend a little extra money and then grow it organically and grow it fast, so that just, I don't want to worry about that stuff.
Figure out
I've never had a loan on my business. When I was independent, I didn't owe a penny. My agency now, I don't owe a penny. It's mine.
That's awesome.
That's a nice feeling.
It is a nice feeling. And maybe that's why that's maybe why I didn't go that. It just has gone this other direction is, I've lost a lot of money this year.
I think of the acquisition, unless you have a pile of cash and you're going to pay cash, like borrowing, sure, it can cash flow. And we could get in an argument with somebody that could argue the other position. But I believe that like you're buying an asset that if you do not inject more new business into it, it's a declining asset, right? And you're paying interest. So you're paying more than what your ticket price is over the course of the years, double or triple, right? When you add the interest in there. So I don't know if the purchase price on a 4 million is 800,000. I
was gonna say probably 850.
A million, whatever it is. By the time you get done with the loan, you actually paid double that, right? With the interest. And now this thing has gone down. You've had to spend money to maintain it, to break even. And
immediately 20% is going out the back door as soon as you buy it.
That's the thing, right? Like 20% is gone. And every year 20% is gone.
Yep.
And if you don't replace that 20% of 4 million, and that's a lot, right? Like to replace 800,000 of premium just to stay even, because now you owe more and it's going down. So I just don't see it. Whereas if it's generating 320 or 400,000 of cash flow, whatever it is, you could get that from writing 100,000 every month.
Yep. That's my goal.
And it's much less expensive to write 100,000 than the 150 to 200,000 you'd have to write if you had acquired that 5 or the 4 million.
It's better to make the 100,000 and then when you build that up big enough to where you're paying too much in taxes, take the depreciation, buy a new place, take the depreciation.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's when you buy it.
That's when you buy it.
That's when you do it.
Right on.
Yeah.
Yep. My business plan sucked. No, I mean, it was just, that's how I was thinking. I wanted to get scaling as fast as I could, but Alaska's a different beast up here. Like you guys have been watching me since May deal with crap.
Yeah.
And, my sales leader keeps telling me you got more grit than anybody I know because, I started 12/1. I literally started without a sales leader or a new agent leader. I got a new one in February.
Oh,
I've had 10.
I mean, so you're
It
just
might be
like,
more actually.
I'm like, what? I went this route thinking I have a lot more support and I didn't, but that's okay. You just pivot out of it. You just figure it out, and just like, it's the first 6 months I learned not what to do.
Right. Which is like, that's the hardest part on that payout, because it's like, if you can hit it hard right at the beginning,
you're golden.
Easy street.
But it's designed where you don't.
Right. You don't know what you're doing. And by the time you know what you're doing, you don't get that big money, but you could still do very well, which is not.
Year 2 isn't a bad contract either. And that's what I keep focusing on. Build my team.
That's why they,
and
that's why they designed it that way. You know what I mean? They designed it that way because they knew you weren't going to sell that much at the front. So, like everybody came out of the gates.
And, you just keep rolling.
Keep rolling.
How many scratch agents do you guys know that make it? I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, is it versus buying an agency and going scratch? So you were scratch, right, Jason?
So I purchased one to begin with.
Oh, okay. And then you did the scratch.
Which was crazy. Like I purchased the one for $750,000 and without bonusing, which it wasn't an agency that was doing anything. The agent was gone. So there was no chance of bonusing. Without bonusing, I was going to make 60 grand a year. I'm like, I spent 750,000 to make 60 grand a year. This is the worst business deal this is dumb.
No, that's me moving from selling an independent that's black with great clients, but the 96% retention. And
wow.
Up here and thinking, oh, this will be easy.
You got Northern Lights.
Hold my beer, Jason.
Yeah. But that becomes the equation, right?
Yeah.
It's just a new equation. And then because it's so difficult, you figure it out. Like because of that, I was like, I don't care if I lose everything, because it's because I'm not going to live the next 10 years of this loan making 60 grand a year. Not going to do it. So I'll come close to like losing. I will lose everything. I would rather put it all on the line and figure it out than living like that, because I was like, I couldn't live with myself like that. You know what I mean? Right. So when you're in those situations,
I haven't pulled a penny out of this agency.
Nice. That's
not one penny came in but we're paying for itself. So we're in the black finally.
That is awesome.
I think I told you guys that in September. We're running in the black now. So we're finally on the right direction.
Oh,
then the renewals will stack.
I'm like, year 4.
It does. And when you get to that point, you're like, you wipe off the sweat and you're like, wow, like I can't believe that. I mean, that's like part of the thing about like not being able to sell next year that I'm not bummed out about. I look at the very beginning to that first year making 60 grand a year, and I'm making a heck of a lot more than that now. And now I don't even have to sell next year. So to me, it's like, yeah, but I could have done it's like, no. You got to look at the blessing in everything, right? So it's like, I look back and I'm like, wow, I can't believe I persisted through a lot of really, I mean, it was not puppy dogs and ice cream. It was like, I had a kid and me and my wife like fought about opening the agency. And then it was like no sleep and like so much craziness of pain to get.
I was a psychologist.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you get
He
paid?
was.
I mean, I learned, I got to see his mistakes 1 month prior, and I'd always, okay, that's good.
He was.
It still took me, like, we didn't have any, it was us two, and then interviewing agents and learning, but we were figuring it out,
You figure it out as you go. I mean,
Right.
and nothing
No
wrong
support.
with that.
Yeah.
You just gotta have moxie to do it. You just
It
gotta
was
do
fun.
it.
It was like a big puzzle.
Yeah.
And then it all came into place. So when you thought, okay, internet leads, like what was going through your head, and like, why did you land on internet leads? Why that?
What'd you ask?
Why did you land on internet leads as a strategy? What made you think, especially after 30 years of not even knowing what they were?
So I figured, all right, so if I don't know what the hell I'm doing, I got to figure it out. So that's the humble pie I started eating last January.
Well, that's a good job, because a lot of folks will say, I can't figure it out. Oh, well, it doesn't work. Or I don't.
So I figured, line yourself up with people who are figuring it out. So I started doing some research on who in this industry, in this company, are successful. And I started bugging them. How are you doing this? How are you making this happen? Where are you getting it? And I just started bugging them, and I started getting little tidbits from different places. I started becoming like a Facebook stalker, started seeing things in there. And I never was part of any insurance group. Like I promised you guys, I didn't have any affiliations with insurance. I just did my thing and didn't deal with anybody else. And so I started opening my horizons. Who is doing it well, and what are they doing? And I started lining up with them. I started asking questions. And I don't know how many beers I had drank, but I was on Facebook and you guys popped up, and it linked up, and I watched it. And the next thing, I signed up for one of your classes, and I thought, aha, that's how we're going to, I started getting some answers. And you guys talked about leads and, making your LSPs professionals where they are doing the insurance selling, but not the dialing, because you're going to burn people out. And I could see that already happening. And, and staying in it, even when you want to jump off the bulls, just stay on it, because the ride's not over yet. And so the pieces just started coming together. I just started finding me people, mentors, and people that are successful with positive attitudes. Oh. I had to get away from the negative nillies.
You got to run.
You got to run, because they will just
do your cardio, run away.
And, and I just got part of your group, and, and that started lining up with people, started redesigning my day, what I was doing. I get up at 4:30 every morning, and I pray, and I sit in the quiet for a while. I do books, I read, I do, like this is my last book I'm reading. This, this is a good one.
Ooh, I haven't read that one.
I haven't even heard of it. I like it.
It's really good. It's
6 Types of Working Genius. If you're not watching on YouTube, you can head over there and look at what she held up.
A better way to understand your gifts, your frustrations, and your team. And it's a good book, but I just started, spending an hour and a half every morning developing me, because I was lacking. And until I could get myself better, I could never have a team that was going to excel where they needed to be personally and professionally. And so I had to break me down first.
Yeah.
So this is really heady, but like, it's crazy how spiritual being a business owner and then a leader of a team, all that stuff is, because it does refine you as a person. So like all those things, like it either refines you as a person, I guess, or it destroys you, and because you're not doing the self-work to get better. So you're constantly negative, right? It's like, it's either one or two directions. Nothing ever stays still. So it's like, it's funny, like as a business owner, it's like, yeah, you either do one of two things. You either try to work on yourself, get better, and in turn, that actually feeds your soul. It feeds you as a person. You grow as a person. So it's really rewarding, especially when you're a leader and you're trying to lead a team and trying to figure that out. And like the rewards of that is huge. But like, or you could be the business owner that like, this sucks. Like this is happening, and it's going to destroy you as a person.
And the team, right?
Yeah.
Because they see you being negative, game over.
Game over. That your business starts going down. And if you don't ever try to get out of it, you like all the negativity that you tell yourself of just going down that down road, just horrible.
It is. And, you might as well just go work at Safeway.
100%. You'd be happier.
Because but you got to, as a business owner, all the mistakes are mine. No matter what I'm doing and no matter what my team does, it's my mistake because I am the captain and I have to do better. And when I see mistakes happening, and that's what got, just pissed me off all this last year was I was dealing with mistakes I was making. I didn't even know I was making them. And then, because I was like, well, this is how I've always done it, but you had to learn. I had to learn fast. But then I figured out I have to also build my foundation for me, the person. I have to make it better because I started being a crappy wife and a crappy mother and because everything just feeds off of everything.
Mm-hmm.
And, the whole reason why I'm doing this is, like I told you earlier, I'm a wife, a mother, and then I'm an insurance agent. And so if I don't keep that in balance, none of it works.
Yes. I love it. The whole ownership of everything seems like, I think when you don't do it, it feels like, well, if I took ownership of everything, I'd always be sad and mad at myself. But then but it's really liberating. Like, I
think it empowers you.
It does empower you. It's the greatest feeling ever.
Yeah.
Because you can admit to yourself, I screwed up, but I'm going to fix it. And this 100%. Is how I'm doing it.
I'm going to learn. It's a lesson.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
It.
And if it costs money, it was tuition.
Yep,
yeah.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, literally. That's how
You learn a hell of a lot more from tuition in business than you do from tuition at college.
Yeah.
And it's probably less expensive.
Yeah.
These days.
Exactly. I just, I think being where God put me here at the end of the road, He put me here to be a better person.
100%. I truly believe I would never, like I was just telling Craig not too long ago, like prior to being a business owner, which didn't happen until my mid 30s. I never took leadership positions at jobs and stuff like that. I didn't want it. Like I didn't want that responsibility or anything, and it's something that I avoided. Like there's no way I wanted to do that. No chance. I had opportunities. Nope. I don't want to do that. And then, when I finally decided to do that it's been so incredible how much growth and how much it's feeding me and my soul as a person. And that never would have happened if I didn't finally make the decision to do that, like it's a huge gift to do that. It's a calling, I think too. Like I wasn't called to do that in my 20s. Right. It happened in my 30s. Huh?
You weren't ready. No.
I was a mess.
I don't think I would have been ready for this gig that I'm on right now 10 years ago, guys. I'm ready now. I thought, I don't know. This last year's been pretty hard. I spent a lot of time down there looking at the time bandit and all the boats, get my mind right. And I call it my come to Jesus meetings because I have to walk out of here and go somewhere and just think and calm down, rationalize it, create a plan of how I'm going to solve the problem.
I love it. You got to read this book called, is it The Obstacle? Not The Obstacle is the Way. What's the Ryan Holiday book?
Obstacles the Way?
No, the one with time.
Time Bandit? I'm not helpful. While you're thinking of that, I just want to throw out a little philosophy that I was just thinking of. Is it's interesting how like we learn, like when we take responsibility for those mistakes And then we learned that mistakes are okay, right? Like it's going to happen. Like if we can't accept that we're going to make mistakes, then there's something wrong, right? Which is why it's so easy to blame. But I think that there's some indoctrination from when we're kids on mistakes because mistakes are so bad growing up, right? Oh, you made a mistake, you're in trouble, right? Like there's no lesson taught. It's more like you're in trouble now. And so really, and I think we carry that forward into this where it's so much easier to blame than to take responsibility because mistake is bad. We don't want to be bad. So I wonder if that's why that happens.
I think you're right. I think you want to transfer it to someone else.
Right. Because it's bad. And you're mad at them anyway because they're not doing anything. So
yeah, my LSP had a crappy month. Oh, I must, we're going to have to let her go. No, before I'd ever do that, I got to look at why.
Right.
What did I do did not help her facilitate her goals and her dream.
Yeah.
And, I've got to make doggone sure that I've done everything I can do. And that's the piece this last year I had to learn.
Yeah.
That's huge. That's a huge one. Stillness is the key is that book.
Oh, stillness is the way.
Stillness is the way. Is that what it is? I thought it was
stillness is maybe it's the key.
Stillness is the key. I think it's Stillness is the Key by Ryan Holiday.
Okay.
Super insightful. It brings up a bunch of examples of leaders and stuff in our past that when bad things happen and stuff, they just take time to quiet the noise, and almost a form of meditation, but like you're saying in the morning, you just like that quiet time and to think. Like that's exactly what they did, how they came out with the best solutions possible. You think it's counterintuitive, but it's like
get your mind right.
It's the most productive thing you can do.
And show some, my deal is I got to show gratitude for what I have because we get so caught up in the negative, but doggone it, we are, we live in America. We live where we have these rights to do what we want to do. And we asked for this. You and I have asked to do this. Like you said, our calling. And I value being an insurance agent. I value our job. I value what we do. I have handed life insurance checks to a widow at a funeral. I know the impact we can have. I have helped somebody build their house that lost everything, including their dog in it. And I have been, as insurance agents, we see the worst of something that can happen. And we're the ones who, if we do our job right, we can help them rebuild their lives.
Yep.
And to me, that's empowering. That is just such a powerful thing.
Yeah.
And,
huge. It's huge. It's a huge, huge job we have. We're not just selling insurance. We're actually, to me, we're very important to people. And, and that's where I get caught up in the internet leads and the web leads and the telemarketing and all the negative side of it. At the end of the day, we still have a very important job.
Yep. And it's tough because you have to shift them from getting something that's just some crap that they don't ever see and they don't want to pay for and they hate it to actually realizing, take them to where they'll stay on the phone and then actually realizing, holy crap, thank you. Right. Like, and they can feel your passion coming through. Like when you're talking like that to somebody, it's like, forget about it. Nobody talked to me like that before.
No.
And then we were talking about, instead of necessarily us selling, it's us selling our team to be that way now, right? Like as you step back one piece, and you could be even more effective because there's 40 hours a day of people doing that, sharing that message instead of just 8 hours a day of you, right?
That's where I've had to get better. That's where I've had to learn how to not be just, I'm so used to being the one selling and having the service team. This up here is a 360. I have to back off and teach my people and my team how to have that passion and understand you've got to have the details. You've got to put the attention on the details. Don't just sell a policy because you need to sell for the count. And that's why I don't want them to even know what other agencies are doing, because I don't want them to be focused on that. I want them to focus on their day and what they're doing and making sure they do it the right way every time.
Yeah.
When they get on the phone, that I can trust that they are doing the right thing by the insured on the other end. And that to me is insurance. But boy, howdy, has it been a hell of a year trying to figure out how to do that.
It's been a year.
It's been a year, but we're still here. and and we're still swinging, and I'm grateful for what I've got.
Yeah.
And that was interesting that you brought up the gratitude part, because gratitude is the fuel, right? It's the fuel that keeps us going. So if you don't slow down and be intentional on your thoughts,
word, yep.
Be intentional on knowing, like, it's super easy for our mind to always see all the negative, but you have to be ultra intentional to look at the be grateful and look at all the stuff you have and how awesome it is. Like, the industry that we're in and all those little pieces that you just talked about. If you're intentional with the gratitude becomes the fuel to take you through the hard times.
Yep. I mean, I've got friends who are like, you haven't made a penny and you've worked so hard, by yourself in Alaska, build an agency in the winter, literally, and you haven't, earned a penny. And I was like, but I'm building something. I am building something here. And right now I'm still building. I am in the foundation.
Are those friends business owners, or are they just folks with jobs?
Yeah, a couple of them are business owners, but it's a little different when you're selling a product versus selling insurance.
Yeah,
it's two different mindsets. When you're selling an ice cream cone and you're selling insurance, there's two different mindsets.
You get to touch the ice cream, you get to eat the ice cream.
It's tangible.
Sometimes in the morning.
Yeah.
Delayed gratification, really. Yeah. And what you should do, and I always thought of this in the past when I was putting all my money back into the business, was you just look at what you could sell it for, even at whatever size it is. Look at the multiple that you could sell it for and go, oh, okay, so that I actually have equity. Like, the equity is that multiple. And it's like, okay, cool, that's awesome. That's a bank. Yep. It's in the bank. I don't even have to pay taxes on
cows right there. I mean, the cow, and then we AI the cow. We wait a year to get the calf on the ground, and I screw up and the calf dies. Guess what, folks? I have to feed that cow for another year before I even have a chance to see if I'm going to be blessed with a calf that I can sell a year later after that. So it's a 3-year turnaround.
That's
when you
rough.
have that mindset,
right?
And you go into this mindset, it takes time, and you got to wait it out. You got to build it, and and there's so much out of our control.
But leads produce results quicker than cows do.
Yeah, literally. They're not as fluffy, but yes.
Throw that on a shirt.
They're not as nice as cows, but.
But I mean, it's the same mindset. We have to just be positive. I'm very grateful for you guys.
Oh, well, we're grateful.
And I'm not going to get emotional.
Well, we're grateful for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Jackie, dude. I remember our phone call conversations when we first joined, when you first came into our world, and it was just awesome. Like, you've been a beaming light of happiness, joy, energy, gratitude. Like, you're always so awesome to be around you. So.
Well, thank you guys. There's been days I'm sitting here bawling my eyes out thinking, what the hell am I doing? And I'm listening to your podcast, or I'm on the Wednesday meeting, and you guys give me that encouragement that I need to keep going forward. I'm okay. This is all okay. This is all going to work out.
That's awesome.
You guys do it for us too.
Well, yep.
It's become
not magic. We're building the plane as we're flying also.
As we're taking off. Saw that podcast. I did. Yes. And it's, I think in this uncertainty times we just got to surround yourself with good people.
100%. Yep.
Like-minded, good people. Positive.
Yep. Oh man. What's the entrepreneur on fire guy?
Dumas.
What does Dumas say? You're the sum of the five people that you hang out with the most, right? So if you're hanging out with 5 negative people, I used to hang out with a lot of negative people. Too. And you know what? I was not a lot of fun to be around.
Yeah, I used to hang out with a lot of people.
I drank so much.
Homer, Alaskan, didn't know a soul. And then my best friend's a moose and a bear and a
if it's 2 moose, is it meese?
No, I don't. I think it might be. Isn't that mice? No. No, I'm kidding. I don't know.
Mooses.
It's a niece. It's the niece of a mouse is a meese.
I think
plural sometimes is you have to be alone to understand and appreciate what you have.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, I love it.
Yeah. Well, I thank you guys so much.
Well, we thank you, Jackie, especially, I mean, you've gone the distance on this, and I know we talked a little bit even before. So awesome. Your attitude is spot on. And I love, again, like I just said, I love the energy. I love the perspective and everything. And so thank you so much for what you do. I know a lot of times as, you know, business owners, insurance agents, you as the business owner don't get the, you know, the accolades as you should. So I want to thank you for everything you do for your team and for your community and everything else. So thank you.
Thank you guys. And Wiley says thank you. He's right back there. You see
look at Wiley.
There's Wiley the coyote.
Yeah, thank you, Jackie. And I remember the day when Brandon said, "Hey, look, we have Jackie Crane up in Alaska signed up, and she's probably the nicest person I've ever talked to.
Yeah,
we have to figure this out." Because normally it's like, you know, we're get them started and you know, it just works. And this was like, oh man, all these hiccups, but let's, you know, if you're going to bring positivity and contribution and you want to win, then yeah, you know, like we want to be around you. Yeah. I want to be the sum of the 5 people that are all positive around me.
That's the best compliment someone can say. You want them in their inner circle because they bring something positive. Yeah. And as we get older, we realize how important that really is.
It's everything. It is crazy how simple that is, right? Like if everybody was just really great to each other, you wouldn't even have to be good at anything. Everybody would just want to be around you, you know?
Yeah. One of our
lesson.
One of our mentors that we in our, like we go to we're in a thing and he always talks about the ripple effect. Right? Like every interaction that you have with anybody, no matter where it is, creates a ripple, right? Like if you're in the morning, they cut you off, if you pull up all pissed off and start flipping them off and have a meltdown, like that person's day may be wrecked. Now your day maybe you're in, you know, or you go, maybe they're in a hurry. Take another sip of your Monster.
You're off of those.
I know. I only have 20 more days. So.
We can only control ourselves, guys. And that's, and I have to admit, I mean, this last year, there's been moments that, oh crap, I hope nobody videoed me because it wasn't my best image, because you get so overwhelmed by all the negative and, you know, all the things out of your control and the things you thought, you know, you don't know, and the money's going out the window and, you know, and you're got to buy web leads. What the hell's web leads? And you got to dial, you know, 600 times a day. What? You know, I mean, there's all this new things start hitting you, but you know, you just pivot. And you just, you know, be grateful.
100%.
And all of a sudden, all that stuff you don't know and that's new and scary just becomes the new normal, right? I don't like to say the new normal, but I bet you I know what you're typing. So we are the distance. I think this may be the marathon one, which is awesome. Time flies when you're having fun with great people. So
yeah, Jackie Crane, who can't shut up.
Jackie Crane. No, this is phenomenal. I think that a lot of people are going to get a ton of value out of this. So we are super grateful for you coming on.
Thank you so much. And thank you behind you guys that support you and do what you do. And just thank you for being you.
Thank you. Yes. And I agree. Thank our team. Our team is phenomenal. So thank you guys.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if you guys, you have to come to Homer, Alaska. Maybe so I was going to suggest that when you're doing that whole where we need to ignite, I was going to say, why don't you come to Homer? And I'll teach you
that would be good.
Crabbing and salmon fishing.
Could we? So can you can't fly to Homer, right?
Yes, you can fly to Homer. You go to Anchorage, and then there's 2 airlines that come down. We have a good airline. We have an airport. We have
a little one.
We have the Navy. We have everything. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, you can fly down here, and I'll get you some Airbnbs, and we'll just have a dang good time.
Oh, that would be awesome.
We thought it'd be easier to get people to San Diego.
Yeah, that's probably true. I've never been to San Diego, so that's good.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the cold, my wife would probably love it. I got to talk her into it. But we come with 4 incredibly rambunctious kids, so
they're super chill.
Just bring them.
We are a wild bunch.
Well, I have 10 dogs, so does that count?
We're probably equal in volume, so I would actually like it would be perfect to have them around.
2.25 dogs equals 1 kid.
Yeah,
Is that the ratio? That's the conversion.
Well, Craig, next time you drive through Aztec, give it a hug for me.
I will. I'll take a picture in front of the sign.
Okay, you know where the A&W is?
Now. Huh?
You know where the A&W is in Aztec?
Yeah, I saw.
So that big river bottom that has a cross. That's mine. That's my place.
Wow.
We have 130 acres right there on the Animus.
Wow.
Yeah.
That river is so beautiful.
Yeah.
If
you need a place to stay, let me know. The house is empty. Oh, I should say that. No, we have good security.
I mean, it's not.
Don't worry. There's only my mom is listening.
Okay.
By this point, yeah, probably. Actually, she's not listening.
Yeah. I better let you guys go, but thank you.
Well, thank you, Jackie. And we will see you. We'll see you next Wednesday.
Yep.
Yay.
Bye, guys.
Bye.